What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the podcast. Hope you're all doing well. This is episode 29 of the Cleveland Pulse podcast. I am your host, Justin Harold, and with me, as always, Jeff Santa, my co-host. Today, we are talking about the Browns matchup against the Tennessee Titans this week, Sunday. Jeff, how you doing, my guy?
Good, just hanging out, hanging in there.
Watch
Good
that,
week.
Yeah, watch that snooze fest of a Baltimore Ravens Steelers game, handicap game.
Yeah, not very good. Not the best entertainment, but Wednesday night football nonetheless, I guess.
Ruined Thursday night football, but yeah, it's whatever. So, but yeah, good week, good week.
Yeah,
Almost done with school.
school almost done,
Yeah,
thankfully. Almost done for the semester. Hanging out. New microphone coming Monday. Should upgrade good quality for these bad boys. It's a little echoey in this room, but I'm going to hold it down.
good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, so essentially this is going to be a short one. Honestly, just probably going to run through the keys to the game and through the injury report first, I believe. But yeah, honestly, for me, just been monitoring the I'm pulling it up right here, the injury report for this week. So obviously we have Wednesday and today Thursday in the books. And interestingly enough, I think for the most part, obviously we do have a lot of limited players here: Conklin, Elliott, Harris, Hodge with a new injury, a new hamstring injury, Hunt, Landry. Landry was full. Redwine is full. That's good to see. Taylor, Teller, Treader, and of course Denzel did not practice, which a lot of the time I just think if you guys see limited, you should just expect these guys to play. It's
Right.
my general consensus a lot of the time. But then you come down to the Tennessee Titans here, and it gets a little bit interesting. So I don't know a lot of these players, but I do know who AJ Brown is. Big time wide receiver for them. Hip did not practice, must be a new injury. So that's going to be a thing to keep an eye on. Looking down here, another player who was limited on Tuesday or was limited on Wednesday, but did not practice today on Thursday. D. Kelly. I don't know if the highlighted must be for a change in
Right.
the status. So I don't know what, if he's a starter or not. I also don't know who Landry is. I feel like Landry might be a starting linebacker though. Did not practice with an illness. Also, a tackle down here, Wilson, did not practice because of an injury. So we could see some COVID stuff there. But yeah, Giannu Smith, that's a good one. Tight end did not practice 2 days in a row. So that's two of Tannehill's big targets for the receiving game, essentially not practicing this week. Jeff, what are your thoughts on this chart right now?
I think it's honestly the same for both squads going into this game. I mean, I think that both of our records being 8-3, and usually the Titans, at least last year, out of the just basically what we've seen, especially with Tannehill, and Vrabel, they play better down the stretch. So some of these injuries are interesting. AJ Brown definitely being the big one. I believe Jonnu Smith did not get that much action this prior week, or if he didn't get any at all, maybe. So that's interesting as well. Something to monitor. AJ Brown is probably, I would assume, if you're good, like both, like this is 8-3 versus 8-3. This is an AFC, game. Like everybody's got to play unless it's really something serious.
Right.
And if AJ Brown can't go, that's a bigger problem for them than I guess was expected, because he's been having a great year. He's been playing extremely well, and I mean that's probably obviously their Derrick Henry's their highlight, and on the surface it's almost like you're the most worried about Derrick Henry, but almost from my point of view, I think AJ Brown, if he plays, will probably give us a bigger headache.
Yeah, especially with Denzel being out, I can
Yes,
absolutely see him
Denzel
torch.
and Ronnie Harrison.
Yeah, I could definitely see him torching Kevin Johnson or Terrence Mitchell. Just really inconsistent play from our back four as of right now. So hoping that him and Smith stay out of the receiving game, but who knows? Honestly, like you said, it's a huge game with huge implications this week. Obviously, if you're the Titans, you know that they gotta secure their conference in order to their conference, their division, in order to, for sure have a playoff spot, because, they're kind of battling back and forth with the Colts, who we have a win over right now. So if it came down to that, that's one team that we could potentially bounce out thanks to a head-to-head victory over them. And, it'd be huge to pick up. I honestly, Jeff, I think like these next two games are the two biggest games in the Browns season remaining. I think in general, they might be the biggest games overall, just depending on how the season goes for the Steelers. At the beginning of the season, I predicted that to be, a huge game. In the beginning, I was like, could you imagine if both teams were fighting for like the last playoff spot in the AFC and Monday night? But it no longer looks like that's going to be the situation, as Pittsburgh is securely. I don't know if they could, I guess, lose out the rest of the season and not make the playoffs, but like, I don't see that happening. Bud Dupree going down with a torn ACL, huge to their defense. I mean, him and TJ Watt are probably the most fearsome tandem in the league as far as it goes with pass rushers. So that's a huge hit to them. So we'll see how they do. That defense is their backbone. But sorry, getting back on track. This is a huge game for us. It's going to really kind of show what kind of team we are, and it's going to get back to your point from the last podcast about are the Browns really improved? Are they really good enough to make it to the playoffs? Do they have any right to be in the playoffs if they can beat a team like this, or if they cannot?
Yeah, totally agree. This is I don't know, this is just it's a kind of an ugly storm for us in a couple of ways, just because of how the season has been going on. So, we're on the road week 1, Ravens, good team, not very competitive showing from us. We're on the road week 4 against Dallas. That was, albeit Dak Prescott was playing that game. That's a game that we had under control. The fourth quarter was a little scary, but we had it under control. Then we're away at the Steelers, get smoked, and then we're away at the Bengals week 7, where Baker needs to leave a comeback drive to win. So not a whole lot. And then this most recent week at the Jaguars. So not a whole lot of impressive showings on the road. It's very hard to win on the road in the National Football League, regardless of, the situation, who you're playing, and all of that. More times than not, it's going to be a tall task. So now we got to go into Nashville. We got to go into Tennessee and play this good Titans team that, I don't know, I think they're kind of like us, I guess. They beat a couple of teams they have like a couple more quality wins than we do. But I mean, that's not saying a whole lot. And I just think, Kareem and Chubb are basically equal to Derrick Henry in my mind. Chubb is, I think we actually have more rushing yards per game than they do by a little bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we lead the league in rushing.
Their offense, I guess their defense might be a little bit better, but it's not that much better. Their defense was better last year. Like, it seems like this matchup, if for 2 8-3 teams, like, it should be pretty even overall. But them being at home and just our track record of not playing good against good competition is a little bit worrisome.
Yeah, we lead the league in yards per game with 161.4, but the Tennessee Titans very close behind us, 158.2. A thing that they do really well over there in Tennessee is kind of what we need to do in order to win a lot of our games against these top tier teams, and that's create turnover. I think this is turnover differentials. They have 11 turnovers, I believe. This is what it's saying. I'm on the NFL
plus 11.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're, in the beginning of the season, I didn't think that they were a super stout defensive team, but by the looks of it, they are kind of up there in terms of taking the ball away. But, it's just Derrick Henry scares me because obviously our run defense, since when we were really good in the beginning of the season, and then something happened. I mean, I think I always go back to that Pittsburgh Steelers game where we lost that second game of the year, and it just was like, man, it really feels like the whole team in general is just like, not the whole team, I'm sorry, the whole offensive line has just like, I don't know, like, it always takes us so long to break off the big runs into the fourth quarter. And I mean, that's a credit to Kevin Stefanski sticking with the run and everything. But like, it just feels like for a lot of these games, like people know we're going to run the ball and they stack up the line and everything, but you still gotta win the line of scrimmage a little bit. I mean, when we rush, we have at least 8 guys blocking. I want to say 7 on the line at least, and then a fullback potentially. I mean, you just got to get a push, but Derrick Henry, I don't know, 6'3", he's an anomaly, and I just don't know about our linebackers, our front 7 in general.
I don't know who's going to tackle him.
Right. I mean, I think the one credit that like people always like try to give Sendejo, because God knows that you try to give Sendejo some love, you're gonna be hard pressed to find anything. I think like it's like he is actually one of the most sure tacklers in the league, actually, which is like surprising. It was like a stat that
he better be.
I mean, yeah, it was like a stat that like came out of like nowhere from like last week, because like, you know, God, our whole defense was awful for the most part.
If we can't tackle, I mean, he's gonna break tackles, but if he's like breaking tackles all game, we're gonna be in trouble.
Do you think at the end of this game it's gonna be the team that has the more rushing yards wins?
No.
Really?
I would say yes if but I mean, I can't say yes. I would say that it's most likely the team with the most rushing yards is going to win. But I think whoever wins the turnover differential is probably going to win.
That's a good call. That's
just because of game management. I mean, both teams, that's what I'm saying. Here's another one of these games where we could take Derrick Henry out of this game realistically. I mean, I'm waiting for besides the Dallas game and maybe the when we played Washington, when have we been out to like a big lead? Like early. Like before halftime. Like, weren't we leading didn't we? Yeah, we were 30 some odd points in the Dallas game, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think
we could take Derrick Henry out of this game. Like, if we're up 2 scores in the third quarter, I mean, yes, they're not going to shy away from Derrick Henry, and he could score like that for you. But, I mean, we could dominate the time of possession in the second half. If we have a little cushion, you know, even if it's 10 points, we just run the ball, eat up clock, pin them down, bad field position, and then they're going to be hard pressed at some point that Tannehill is going to have to beat us. I mean, it's not saying that much, but I'm fine with Tannehill beating us. Like, our air defense, our passing defense is not that good. Our run defense is not that good. But I mean, you might as well try to take one aspect out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go and look at their team specifically. And again, it's really hoping that AJ Brown and Jonnu Smith can miss this game, because I mean, Tannehill has benefited so much, and as a lot of quarterbacks do with a great running game, has benefited so much. He's probably, I don't know, he's playing, he's leading in a lot of stats. He's got 23 touchdowns. He's tied for 7, tied for third for the least amount of interceptions thrown, and at 5th for a QBR. I mean, that's pretty spectacular in terms of stats for him, but it's going to be this is going to be one of the most interesting 1 p.m. games that has happened all season long on a Sunday. I really feel like we should get flexed. Like, we should have been flexed to a later time with this game, but
too late.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, it would have been nice to have this game
for sure
flexed a little bit, but I think, in all honesty, going back to my question about if, you know, who has the most rushing yards wins the game at the end of the day, I feel like you're right. I feel like whoever turns the ball over the most is going to lose this game. And the problem with that is just, you look at Ryan Tannehill and you look at Derrick Henry, they're not turning the ball over that much. And neither is Baker to that extent, but Baker, if I'm being honest, Baker is more likely to have a turnover than Ryan Tannehill at this point. Or Harrison Bryant catches a ball and fumbles it.
Can't do that.
Yeah, you can't. You can't have those mistakes happen.
You can't have a tight end fumbling.
Yeah. Man, dude, this is just like a game where I think about it and I'm like, I'm hard pressed to like say that we win this game, because in all honesty, this is a game that you look on the schedule before the season starts and where we are now, and you're kind of thinking, probably going to be a loss to be all. And, this is the first time I'm being realistic with people. It's a hard one to try to be optimistic about. Everyone's got to play their A game. Myles Garrett coming back from the COVID list is going to have a huge game. You got to hope that, as a defense, we do what every team has been doing to us. I would much rather, like you said, Jeff, I'd rather get beaten by Ryan Tannehill than get beaten by Derrick Henry. I would just stack the box and fire in all gaps.
Every play.
Yeah. I mean, let our back four defend for themselves. I'm sorry to say that. Switch Sendejo out for Redwine or anyone who can track a ball in the middle or in the air. But on the flip side of that, there's the offense who, I don't know. I honestly don't know too much about this Titans defense, except for the fact that, what is it? Who was it? It was Derrick Henry earlier this year who stiff armed like Josh Norman into like, I don't know, like back to his birth or something. But who is on their defense that I can think of besides Jadeveon Clowney?
That's all I can think of. They signed what's that guy's name? Desmond King. He was from the Chargers. That's about it. The cornerback.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this might be like an offensive game. You watched last week with the Titans and the Colts. I mean,
they give up a lot of points and they score kind of fast.
Yeah, they do score very fast, and I mean, it all goes through Derrick Henry. Oh man, I don't know, man. Everyone's got to play their A game. There's got to be, this got to be the best game of the season. You got to call the best game of the season because
absolutely,
unfortunately, I don't think there's another team on the schedule where you're going to have to do the most in order to win, like to play the best game that you've played. And, we got two really tough games, and, this is probably the toughest one out of the both. But imagine picking up a win here and on the road against a playoff team, and
big confidence booster.
Yeah, that, and just like, again, I speak to it. Momentum is such a huge thing. And to take that into a Baltimore game where Baltimore is coming into our territory and, they're kind of getting dinged up at the moment. They're kind of dropping like flies and not playing their best ball. I mean, I don't know. It's really, this is Sunday, 1 p.m. can't come soon enough. Because I'm amped. I'm worried, but I'm amped because I do think we have a chance. It's just you can't. In the Baltimore game when we got blown out, and the Steelers game when we got blown out, you can't turn the ball over to start the game. It's just a must. And, it's going to come down to Baker making smart decisions and, playing like he has these past couple of weeks without throwing the interceptions. He's got to play smart football and, going back to some of his misses, I think, even he said that they are really easily correctable things. And the things that we did see him do where he was making the tight passes and, fitting the ball into spots that just, were super tightly contested. I mean, we're going to need a lot of that. And we're just going to need, a similar game as to the Bengals when, after that first quarter, he was just kind of on the dime every throw. So yeah, Jeff, I don't know. What are you thinking are the keys?
I think there's two things here. So Myles coming back, that's a boost for the defense, obviously. But he was, it's not like he just tested positive and, there's no symptoms. Like he actually felt sick. And I shared that tweet with you today. I think it was today. I believe it was today.
You sent me a few tweets today.
But it's Thursday, and Stefanski saying that he expects him to go. It's like, yeah, all right, Myles Garrett's going to play. That's not what I'm saying. But it's not like it's Thursday. We have Friday and Saturday. So there's 2 days before the game, and Stefanski's not even definitively saying that he's like active 100% to go. I know it's probably precautionary, whatever, this, that, and the other thing. But, and you say, oh, he got a couple weeks rest. Yes, but is he going to be 100%? Are you expecting him to be 100% and play every defensive snap? Probably not.
I don't think he even does that when he's healthy, though. TBH.
Yeah, but I'm not expecting. I mean, I'm not gonna if he doesn't have a strip sack fumble recovery, I'm not gonna be like on him. Like obviously, if he has an average game for Myles Garrett, like you can't really blame the guy. He hasn't touched football field in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But the other thing with that is that I just feel bad for the guy because he is, he's advertised as getting sacks, making the quarterback uncomfortable. But he helps the run defense. I mean,
Yeah.
he's pivotal up front there, but he can't do both. He's
Right.
not going to be able. How many times is he going to have to tackle Derrick Henry and try to get in the backfield with Tannehill? Probably all game. Olivier Vernon needs to wake up for this game. That's probably the biggest underlying point that I'm beating around the bush to. Here's the second thing. Looking at our schedule, this is one of maybe the third game, maybe the fourth if you give Gruden the coaching edge, where we don't have the coaching edge. I think Stefanski, while he's done a great job, most of the time he's been the better coach. He's better than Bengals head coach. He's better than he's better than Doug Peterson and the Jaguars and Romeo Crennel. I love Romeo Crennel, but Romeo Crennel's old news. And I think he's better than the Colts head coach, which I don't even know that guy's name. But Tomlin, Harbaugh, and Gruden are the only times that I felt like we've been out coached. Mostly Tomlin, honestly. But I think this week, Vrabel is underrated coach in the league. He's definitely on the come up since last year, but my biggest thing with Vrabel is that he makes young quarterbacks uncomfortable.
Yep.
He's made Lamar Jackson uncomfortable every time they played him. And honestly, Lamar Jackson at this moment in time has a considerable amount more talent than Baker Mayfield, in my opinion. Different style of quarterbacks, obviously, but this guy just makes quarterbacks uncomfortable. Their defense isn't, the stats say that their defense is really not that good, but they're going to get stops and they're going to get off the field on third down. Are we going to be able to do that and keep up with them? That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to go back and look at this, this Titans team and the teams that they lost to. They lost to the Bengals, but like that's kind of to your point, like what is happening with this team at times? I mean, they lost to the Steelers, first loss of the season, understandable. They only lost by 3 points. It's the only team that's unbeaten right now. And then they lost to
the Bengals.
I don't know how they lose to the Bengals.
Teams have I don't know. It's like a Steelers hangover this year. I feel like you play the Steelers, and the teams that play the Steelers the next week is always terrible. I don't know why. Even like you say with our offensive line, it's been not as good. I think that's a little bit, you could put a little bit of stock into the whole advertisement of our offense is just try to stop the run. So I think that's why the offensive line hasn't looked as good. Maybe people are figuring that out a little bit, but you're right. And then this Tennessee team, here's the big thing that I really enjoy about this game. So Tennessee they had the COVID problem with Steelers. They were the week 3 bye. This is their 10th, 11th straight week of football, 10th. So, I mean, we should be more rested, but we're honestly not that much healthier. Maybe. If A.J. Brown don't play, I think we got honestly a great chance to win.
Yeah, I'm just going back through these games, though. Like, even this Colts game where they lost 34-17, Phillip Rivers throws for
then they shut him down.
308 yards for a touchdown in one game. And I come back to this next week, and what does he do this week? He throws 295 yards for 2 touchdowns and an interception. And we demolished.
Shut him down.
Well, yeah, they didn't shut him down. But
they didn't have a run game. That's what I'm saying. The Colts team, I don't know. I honestly don't know how they lost to the Bengals. That's my biggest question mark. Joe Burrow had to play pretty good that game.
I'll look it up for you. But, I mean, he didn't even play that great, man. I mean, 249 yards for 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's good. But, like it's not like something like I'm thinking you got to go above and beyond to beat this team. I'm speaking as if you have to go above and beyond to beat this team. But it seems like when they lose, they're losing to, like, average games. Like, no one is popping off on either one of these games except for the Steelers, who – I mean, the Steelers are the Steelers right now, but like the Bengals and the Colts, 2 teams that we swept the Bengals and we beat the Colts. I'm just, I'm trying to think, maybe offensively I should expect less from their defense in terms of what I like have imagined
Maybe.
in my mind.
Honestly, I would agree with you to the point where, so like you said, if we get the second Bengals game performance out of Baker, we got a great chance to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
If we get I'm gonna throw Oakland out of there because our wide receivers can't catch. If we get the Eagles game Baker, and if we get this Jaguars game Baker, we're not beating this team. I don't think. It's not that we just can't beat ourselves. I think we could beat their defense. I don't know if we could stop their offense, but I think we could beat their defense, but we can't beat ourselves. We gotta convert first downs on third down, and we gotta stop them on third down. Whoever has the better third down conversion percentage wins a game.
Yeah. But you also gotta my thing with we can go on and on, but my thing is with that is like a lot of the time it just seems like teams get third and second on us. And I'm like, all right, they're just gonna go for it on fourth down because our team is so bad on fourth downs in terms of defensive stops. So
just bad against the run.
You gotta the first two plays, you gotta stop the run. And I mean, play action is probably gonna bite us in the ass for that.
Oh yeah.
But we gotta live and die by Ryan Tannehill. I'm preferred to that than Derrick Henry just running all day on us. So, Jeff, what's the prediction on this one, guy?
Prediction. All right, I'm gonna go with something that gonna keep me sane. Hopefully, I'm gonna go 31.
Oh God.
30. We're giving up 30. I think we're giving up 30. If AJ Brown and Johnny Smith don't play, maybe we'll give up less. But I think they're gonna play. I think AJ Brown's got to play this game. This might be the biggest. This is the biggest game in the Browns franchise in the last decade minimum. 13 years, 30 years, 20 years, maybe since 2000, you never know. We give up 30. I think it's 31-24 Titans.
I'm seeing a lot of 24s. What'd you say? I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
31-24 Titans. I think here's my thing. Have a chance to win in the fourth quarter, and I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain long term. If we do something stupid in the fourth quarter and, we're in one score and we lose because we do something stupid, I'll probably complain on the spot because that's exactly how I am. But I don't want to be down 20 in the fourth quarter. Let's just keep it close, keep it within. If we lose by a touchdown or less or win, I'm checking this off as a good learning experience minimum.
Oh, this is so hard for me because I really do think we have a chance to win this game. And it's one of these games where I think as a franchise, you need to win it. As a team, just currently, you need to win it. But you're going up against a team that should beat you in probably everyone's mind except for us. And I can't give us 30 points. And I give us a chance to win the game at the end. I'm going to say the score going into the fourth quarter is something around the lines of 24-17. And for some reason, some way, somehow, the Browns defense is able to get out of that fourth quarter without giving up a single point. And the Browns go score a touchdown and get the ball back with 3-some minutes left. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt get us into at least field goal range, and we kick a field goal, 27-24 Browns.
Wow. What if we
I think Kareem's going to have a huge game.
I hope so. He did not play very well last week.
Yeah, I think he's going to bounce back. I don't know. They've just kind of been holding him back a lot more with that hamstring injury, but I think that man is such a competitor. You can tell him and Nick are such competitors that maybe he was just I don't know that he needed to compete too hard last week in his mind, but
maybe,
man, I think Kareem has a big game this week.
What about
I think that's what it is.
What about 24? What about 2 minute 20? We're down 24-17, 2-minute drill. We go down and score, and there's 30 seconds left on the clock, like probably going into overtime, and Stefanski goes for 2 instead of just taking the tie.
Let me
They're taking the going to overtime.
Are you? Because I don't want to go into overtime with them. I
No.
I don't want to go into overtime with them because I know Derrick Henry's just going to do what
he's going to walk us off. They're going to put him in the backfield. They'll snap him the ball.
So what do you think the play call is on a 2-point conversion at the end of the game with this team, with this Browns offense?
With this Browns offense, my go-to play call, 2-point conversion. Ooh. So
I don't think Nick Chubb's in the field. I don't think Nick Chubb's on the field.
Yeah,
you think so?
Yeah, but he's in the fullback slot. I think we put Baker under center, I formation, Baker under center, Chubb fullback, Kareem running back. Snap. I don't even know if this is a thing, but either inside fake to Chubb. Well, I guess no. I want to run it to the right. So either you do a little, you play fake to the fullback, Chubb maybe.
I think I understand where you're going.
It's just a little fake handoff. It's like the ball just slides right by Chubb, and then it's a pitch to Kareem.
Yeah. So but it's like Baker running to the right, or is it just like fake and then pitch?
It's Kareem. So if Chubb is up here and Kareem's it's snap and Kareem just goes straight horizontal and Chubb just runs straight up the field and Baker just turns around and does the one-handed. He does that one-hand flip good right to him and just go for the goal line.
I don't think Nick Chubb is in. I honestly, and like this is like you might get like Pete Carroll with Seattle Seahawks vibes from this.
I don't want to pass.
Dude, but like
I don't want to pass.
If Nick Chubb's in the game, like there's no
So I'm saying you fake it to Chubb. Nick Chubb fullback, everyone's like, oh, they're just gonna but I guess 2-point conversion you start on the 2 though.
Yeah. And it's weird. I'm saying that the formation is, you gotta have Jarvis and Hodge on one side and Higgins to his own, or maybe it's like Jarvis and Hooper. I'm gonna say it's Hooper, Higgins on the left side of the field, spread out wide.
Okay.
Harrison Bryant we'll put him on whatever side Jadavion's on.
I don't want him in the game.
He's blocking. Hold on. Don't worry about it. He's blocking. Kareem Hunt on the right side of Baker and Jarvis on the right side. And I think you get a delayed block from Harrison. He releases. Kareem Hunt blocks Jadavion. And by that time, Baker would have time to scan the field. Hopefully, because if you don't, because Baker goes left to right, Baker looks left. If Hooper's not open, the ball's going to Jarvis for like a slant.
But we're in the shotgun.
Yeah, we're in the shotgun.
But Kareem's in the backfield.
Yeah, he's like right next to him on the right side.
As long as it's not, I don't care what we run. I don't care if we direct snap it to Jarvis. As long as we don't have, well, I guess that kind of just contradicts myself. But as long as we don't have an empty back set, an empty field or empty backfield set, I don't care.
The empty backfield set's growing on me a little bit.
No,
it's growing on me.
You need to get on the tight end where Stefanski brings Hooper or Bryant into the fullback spot. When I see that, I'm just like, let's go. I just start barking at the TV. So I know something's good about to happen. We got Teller. We always run at the Teller side too. We got Teller. We get this. We got someone pull blocking, and then just Brian just going like this in front of somebody. We're in the second.
Yeah, honestly, talking about this now, I just don't want it to come down to this.
I'm not going to overtime with these guys, though.
I understand that. I want it to come down to what my prediction was, where Parkey kicks a field goal, and that's that. Because I don't like how we were talking about this for a few minutes, because I don't like either one of our plays, to be honest. Now that I think
why not?
I don't like it. We're done with this. Parkey's going to hit a walk-off field goal.
He's going to hit a walk-off field goal. Stop.
Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt going to get us at the field goal position. That's it. We're fine. We're fine. So, all right, Jeff, you got anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
Go out and win a game. Go 1-0.
Oh my goodness, go 1-0. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching and listening. We appreciate it, and leave us some likes, leave us some subscribes, some comments, and we'll respond to you, and we'll get back to you. And hopefully, the Browns go 1-0 this weekend. So we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.